We shall continue now on our third day.
Thank you, Mr. Rubai. So, stop the sharing, and now go for hybrid chess and online. Thank you again. And now I will speak about the other type of the chess, which is online chess rules and regulation. So for online, we have two types. We have online and we have hybrid chess. So it's necessary for arbiter to know the other system. We used to be over the board always, but because of pandemic, now the new chess arrive, which is the over the online and hybrid chess. But we create some rules for this type of the event, slightly different from the over the board. So now we go step by step to explain what's differences between this type of the chess competition. So since the pandemic, competitive chess has flourished online, and couple of first ever online chess tournament draw large audience on the virus online platform worldwide. It was need for a new regulation. So FIDE decide, because as you know, once the pandemic, FIDE decide to be the players not to stop playing chess, to be active. So they create such as hybrid chess, online chess, then hybrid chess. And they try to play for the platform, such as chess.com and Lead Chess and so on. So they ask the Rules Commission to look for the new rules, new regulation for online and hybrid chess. So they used in the Chess Olympiad. It was the first time in Chess Olympiad 2020, it was online. This first time was online, and they played on the platform of chess.com. The event was marked by multiple issues like power outage and internet disconnection. So it was the first problem with internet disconnection and for power outage. So no electricity. This is what first two problems during the Chess Olympiad. And during the quarterfinals of the online Chess Olympiad 2020, the Armenian team protest over their losing a game due to the poor internet connection at chess.com. So this is first case was first problem with connection. Armenian team were claiming because they got lose because of the poor connection, internet connection. But the portal where the tournament was played, it was chess.com. Then the appeals was rejected. The team withdrew from the game when the appeals was rejected. The appeal was rejected, said this is not our mistake. The connection belongs to the organizer, which the local organizer, the local organizer, your federation. Or if you work from your home, it's your problem from your home, this connection, or from the federation or club. So the club and federation problem, they have to provide a good connection, not FIDE, not chess.com. So the problem with the connection will be poor connection internet. It's belong to the player, not FIDE. So the team here withdraw from the competition. Now, after the team, Armenian team withdraw, paving the way for the Indian to enter the semifinal. So now semifinal, Indian with the Russian team. Then in the finals between India and Russia, also witnessed a worldwide global server outage. So now became another problem in the final, other problem was the outage. So what shall we do, FIDE? Okay, they want to finish the competition. They want to go for next. If they cannot wait, they cannot postpone and to see. So in that time was Russian team. It was 4 balls. Russian team was scored 2 points, and still other 2 points for the Indian team. Their winning position. The Indian team will score 2. At the end will be equal. Will be draw. Then FIDE took the politics, something like politic decision from President Arkady, and when the lead to both of teams sharing the gold medal. Then he announced, okay, now we could not go to postpone or continue. Now we announced the draw, and we give both of teams gold medal. So this is first time in the history happened to give 2 teams gold medal. So this something was like political, okay? They give gold for both of teams. So new rules of competitive chess online arrive. So the framework of the interaction used for the tournament remains the same. Newer rules have been set regarding the video. So there now we use video for conference software. We use cameras, front camera, side camera, and player conduct as per Article 14 of the new charter that concerns cameras and microphones. Virtual background is not allowed. So visual background or green screen are not permitted, and the player and face as well as surrounding must be clear. So they have set up the camera, front camera from laptop. We use the laptop must be front camera. If you use the PC, so has to be front camera. Then they use the second camera, side camera. This will be show the surrounding of the player, what's around the player, what in the room, what is in the venue, or maybe somebody inside give you information, cheating, or maybe on the table of the player, other devices, maybe mobile phone, maybe other computer, so get information, he cheats. So for that must be clear. The second side camera cover all the area, cover the body and hand and everything, and showing the monitor of the player. So the article also demands extra camera to keep track of the constant eyes movement. Sometimes also we have to see the eyes movement of the player. Maybe if there is no second camera, very easy. A player looks on left side or right side because no side camera, and maybe cheating. Maybe someone sitting beside him give him information. The microphone must be high quality, so I can hear microphone. If someone talk with him in the room, I can hear somebody there, and must be being sharp enough to transmit any audible sound from the player's surrounding, including the click of the mouse. So when you click the mouse, you can hear. So this which means you have very good sound system. Then the FIDE online chess regulation are intended to cover all competition where players play on the virtual chessboard. So we have over the board, now we have virtual chessboard and transmit moves via the internet. So we can watch the game via internet, via application, chess.com, Chess, Chess24, so Tornado, and many platforms we have. So FIDE first start with chess.com, then for the next event, they start with work with the Tornado, because Tornado is private but not commercial, nothing. Is it free for anybody? But then FIDE chess.com became commercial, and for that make business, for make advertising, they earn money. For that FIDE now make contract with chess.com. Now the all events, official events, FIDE official events run via a platform of chess.com. Wherever possible, these regulations are intended to be identical to the FIDE laws of chess and relate with the composition regulation online chess, such as Olympiad, and used for continental event and so on. We use for so many events, official event, and so on. Till now, we use this type of the regulation. They are intended for use by the players and arbiters in official FIDE online competition and as a technical specification for online chess platforms hosting chess competitions such as chess.com, Lichess, Tornado, and so on. But from my experience, I saw that Tornado at the moment the best. It's my opinion. Tornado, it's the best because easy to use. Chess.com players confused because by chess.com you have to be online first. After that, you have to be live. So online, when you become online, we understand you enter to the chess.com. To play the game, your match with the opponent, you have to be live. So players were confused. So for several tournaments, we face problem. We take long time to explain the player, please go from online to live. So it takes time to go to the live and play with the opponent. And sometimes we go to online, play with the wrong opponent because some opponent invite you, because this is open application, invite you to play, you accept. But this one is not your opponent in the tournament, it's other opponent. So this happens always, and they spend long time to stop the game and pair them again and play. So when you use the Tornado, cannot be like this. Tornado only in the platform, same time, all play together. Once you enter to Tornado, you have to create your account in Tornado. So then you sign in. When you sign in, your name will be appear in the Tornado. So you can watch the game immediately. Once the chief arbiter said start, immediately you play your game. But by chess.com, chief arbiter was pair you table by table, take long time, not same time. This was differences. Then this regulation cannot cover all possible situations that may arise during the competition, but it should be possible for the arbiter with the necessary competence, sound judgment, and objectivity to arrive at the correct decision based on his understanding that this regulation. So there's a slightly change in the online chess, because in the online chess we don't have touch move, and illegal move cannot be illegal move because application platform is not allowed to play illegal move. So here is a difference. Over the board, if there is touch move, you have to move your piece. If you play illegal move, so arbiter will give you penalty. But here there is no touch move and there is no illegal move. For the 3-4 repetition, okay, in the over the board, the arbiter players must claim to get the draw. But in the applications such as Tornado and chess.com, Lichess, the automatic, once the 3-time repetition appear, automatic computer give draw. So no need to player claim for draw. Only there is 3 buttons, 3 buttons in the Tornado can use a player. 1 button resign, just click on resign. So you offer, you resign, said to your opponent, I am resigned. So it's finished. This will resign in the game. Or there is offer draw. You press the button of draw. Then now opponent has to say yes, accept, or to play his move. Once he plays his move, this means he rejects. No need for draw. And the other button is it call arbiter. In case something wrong with the clocks or something wrong, for example, you have poor connection, or you discover your opponent using only 1 camera, second camera cannot see. So in this case, you can call the arbiter. I said, arbiter, my opponent without camera. So in this case, arbiter investigate and see if there's camera on or off, then they can take sanction and give to the player. The regulation cannot cover all possible situations that may arise during the competition, but it should be possible for the arbiter. So this is arbiter must understand this regulation, how to take decision. And according to basic rule of play, Article 1, so Article 1 until Article 3 of the basic rule of the play from the FIDE laws of chess are fully applied, except Article 2.1. So Article 2.1 of basic rules of play from the FIDE laws of chess is superseded by Article 3.1. This is changed because there is no touch move, and there is no illegal move. So knight cannot go from, for example, from black square to black square. In the over the board, yes, can play from black to black. This is illegal move. But in online chess cannot, because application platform is not allowed to do. Article 4 and Article 5 of basic rules of play from the FIDE laws of chess are superseded by Article 3 and 5 of this regulation. So we have slightly change in the regulation between over the board and online chess. So playing zone, online chess game are played on the virtual chessboard, while the over the board will be in the venue, will be in traditional board. Here we have virtual chessboard. The virtual chessboard shall be hosted by an online playing zone, usually an application or website such as chess.com, Lichess, Tornado, Chess24, and so on. The list of the moves shall be visible on the screen to the arbiter. So in the over the board, we have a score sheet. It is visible for arbiter. But for online, from PGN file, you can see in the screen, an application platform, you can find all moves there. Each player is responsible for his connection. So any connection problem for the Zoom, entering the Zoom, or connection for the internet. So in this case, responsibility of the players, not of organizer or Continental or FIDE. Then Article 3, moving the pieces on the virtual chessboard. The chessboard is composed of the 8x8 as over the board. Is it same? Moves are made on the virtual chessboard using a playing device. So we have computer and we have a laptop only. So tablet is not allowed. Mobile phone is not allowed. Any device else not allowed. So only you have to use your tablet or computer with a mouse. And the playing zone shall only accept legal move. So as usual, and over the board, you can play illegal move, but on playing zone only accept legal move. So no chance to play player illegal move. The player having the move shall be allowed to use any technical means available on the playing zone to make his move. So in this case, we have arbiter in the Zoom watching the player, and if there's the hybrid chess, will be arbiter in the venue. So we have two arbiters. If the competition regarding hybrid chess, then hybrid chess must be one arbiter in the venue, but online chess must be arbiter in the Zoom. So from the Zoom, arbiter control the player, and he watching him from the front camera and side camera, and he has to share the screen, the share task manager of the player, and look what application open in his screen and is in laptop by sharing a screen. If the player not give share screen or is out of the share screen, this time arbiter give sanction. First, second time, maybe third time he lose the game. A minimum, the playing zone must offer the possibility to select the sources and target square to make his move. So we have mouse, we use mouse and can move pieces on our computer or our laptop. Then we have three things in the application platform. In platform, we have smart move, we have pre-move, and we auto promote to queen. So the smart move, the player may play his move by selecting a single square when a unique move can be done involving that square. So this is calling smart move. But pre-move, this is the pre-move also in application and platform, according to the regulation, must be mentioned if the pre-move allowed or not allowed, if auto promotion allowed or not allowed, or arbiter players himself must be select yes or not, because if, for example, for auto promote to the queen, you select yes, okay, once the pawn reach the farthest square, they give queen automatic. They will not ask you. But if they make this button inactive, so when the pawn reach the farthest square, they ask you which piece you need, queen, rook, then we select. For pre-move, the players enter his move before opponent move. So in this case, it's very dangerous. This happened with one of Grandmaster, Indonesian Grandmaster during the game of Asian Championship. No, sorry, one Grandmaster from Philippines, Torre. The opponent was just attack his queen. He captured the queen, and immediately he wants to move the queen to other square, but mouse slip. The mouse slip and play the queen the wrong place, and he lost the queen. For that, because it was not pre-move. We advise sometimes to activate the pre-move, because once you play the wrong place, they ask you, are you sure play this move? You said yes. If not, so, oh, sorry, I did mistake, though I would change my move. So this means the pre-move. So pre-move must be care about this activation before start the round. It can active or not active, because automatic once your opponent plays move, automatically the pawn which you capture or you hand or the move, the rook or any pieces which you handle it, so it will work automatic on the board, chessboard. So the move is automatic exceeded on the board as the immediate response. So immediate response to the opponent. Maybe this is wrong. Maybe this is okay, cannot be illegal move because not accept illegal move. This is wrong. Maybe I will lose the piece or lose something, or maybe there will checkmate to my king. So for that, be careful if there is active or not active pre-move. Same thing for auto promote. Be sure this is active or not active, because if the active, so once the pawn reach the farthest square, they give you queen. You cannot change to the other pieces. For that, in some competition in the regulation, they mention about if the active this type or not, or otherwise they give option to the player, he can do by himself. The player may set up the playing zone to force the promotion to the queen without being offered to choose the promoted pieces. So we say this is sometimes became risky. So if you make the active, this is risky. Maybe you don't like the queen. You want to maybe knight, because if the queen or rook maybe is still made. So in this case, you need bishop, you need the knight. But because you set up for the auto promotion to queen, so only way to get queen, not other pieces. All moves and clock times after each move are automatically recorded by the playing zone and visible for both players. So once the game starts, the recording for the zoom there. In any case, any claim, we can refer to the video record for this Zoom, and we'll see if there's any violation or not. If a player is unable to move the pieces, an assistant who shall be acceptable to the arbiter may be provided by player preference. This is the same as over the board. We had in the Asian Youth Championship, we had one player, disabled player. So then was one assistant there, one of parents, assistant, okay, we allowed to move the pieces. And in this case, we were watching. First of all, the Zoom was recording, and we watching parents. Camera was panoramic camera inside the room, and we can watch very carefully the parent or the assistant what he's doing, and must microphone be on to hear if there is any notation or any information give to the player or not. If a player is unable to move the pieces, so said assistant shall be acceptable by the arbiter. It will be monitored by the Zoom camera. So we have Zoom camera, we see everything. So in the virtual chess clock means the individual time display of both players. This is not such as a normal clock and a standard clock. Because the standard clock, once you play your game, you press the button, and then the opponent clock time is run. But here in virtual chess clock is different. Once you play your move, automatic showing the application, the platform showing your time. And when a player has made his move on the chessboard, so his clock will automatically stop and the opponent clock will start. This is in the virtual. If the player disconnect from the playing zone during the game, his or her clock shall continue running. So I am disconnect from the playing zone. I am not in zone, but I am playing in platform. I'm playing in chess.com. I'm playing in the Tornado, but the time is running. Time is running. I have to connect again, come to the Zoom. I cannot move. According to the regulation, if you disconnect from the Zoom, you cannot move. The time will run until you enter. Then you can move your pawn or piece and play your move. Each player must complete a minimum number of moves, same as over the board. All moves in the allocated period of the time, including any additional amount of time which is moved with each move. So this is same as over the board. The competition regulation will specify this in advance. It must be also mentioned in the regulation in advance. If a player does not complete the prescribed number of the moves in the allocated time, the game is lost by the player. So you have 90 minutes, such as hybrid chess, you have 90 minutes for 40 moves, then 30 minutes to end the game, same as Chess Olympiad, the time control. So in this case, we have always to check 40 moves complete or not complete. However, the game is automatically drawn if the position is such as opponent cannot checkmate the player king by any possible series of legal moves. So in this case, same thing. If the flag fell, so only has king, so this the game will be draw. The game will be draw. If there is a stalemate, then automatic the platform application shown the draw. If 3-4 repetition appear, the automatic shows draw. The game is won by the player who has checkmate his opponent king. The game is won by the player whose opponent declare resign by pressing button resign. So in the over the board, he can say resign, or he can shake the hand and say, okay, now I accept resign. But in the virtual chessboard, no, you have button. There is a button, you press the button for resign, and we understand he resigned, and the game will end it. The player can offer a draw in accordance with any method provided by playing Zoom. The offer cannot be withdrawn. So if I press the button draw, So now the opponent can accept draw or can make his move. If he make his move, this means he reject, he not accept or draw. So the offer cannot be withdrawn and remain valid until the opponent accepted or rejected by playing a move or the game in some other way. The game is automatically drawn when the same position appear for the third time, so 3-time repetition, as described in Article 9.222, FIDE laws of chess. Then the player to move has no legal move and his king is not in check. So this means this is stalemate. So if the stalemate appears, so automatic the system, the application, the platform showed the game is drawn. A possible has arisen in the which neither player can checkmate the opponent king with any series of legal moves. At the last 50 moves, seem like over the board, if the last 50 moves by each player have been completed without the movement of any pawn and without any capture of pieces, in this case, automatic we shown draw, because over the board must one player claim for draw because of 50 moves. But in a platform, automatic. After 50 moves, automatic announce draw. Same thing if the 3-4 repetition announce is draw. Online competition may be played under the following formats. Online chess competition, even without specific player supervision. So we have supervision possibility, such as hybrid chess. If there is hybrid chess, so according to the regulation, must be one arbiter in the venue and one technical assistant, local technical assistant. So in each venue, for each 10 player must be one arbiter for hybrid chess. Okay. For example, in the team competition, we have a number of players playing with the other country. So all players sitting in the federation or in the club playing in the same venue. In this case, must be panoramic camera and front camera and side camera. The panoramic camera can cover all area. So in this case, if not cover all area, it must be side camera beside the front camera. So we have two control, one by Zoom arbiter. So each 10 to 15 players will be in one breakout room in the Zoom, and in each breakout room must be one arbiter to control and sharing the screen and everything. Then in hybrid chess must be also one chief local arbiter in the venue with one assistant, technical assistant in the venue. In case any connection, any internet problem, so technical or IT person, he's in charge to solve this problem. For the arbitration, so the arbiter or chief local arbiter, he's in charge, same like over the board. If any, he must be there. And sometimes the players from same venue paired together. If the paired together, so arbiter has to ask both of players if agree to play over the board. If they agree to play over the board, so in this case, arbiter has to fix the clock. So all standard chess consider. So for touch move, illegal move, and 3-4 repetition, 5-4 repetition for the players, 75 for the players, for draw for the arbiters. So 5-time repetition for the arbiters. This all consider because they're playing over the board. But if one of them not accepts, so if they can play online, and if they ask for a score sheet, we provide a score sheet to record their move. And if they ask for traditional board, we give traditional board. We allow it because now he can think on the traditional board, then he played the move on the online. But which one has played first? Online. So he has to move his piece online first, then go to traditional board, move the piece. If he moves the piece on traditional board before online, here arbiter can give sanction. So not allowed. So this is against the the online regulation. The online chess competition, even without specific player supervision, possibility automatic by the playing Zoom without the supervision of the arbiter online chess, it's most generic term for the internet chess game. So the regulation of this kind of event are specified by the playing zone. So I have playing zone, online chess with the supervision. Competition is in an event where players are remotely supervised by the arbiter. So we have arbiter, I said local chief arbiter, and we have technical assistant. Before was calling technical assistant arbiter, technical assistant arbiter, now technical assistant. Hybrid chess competition is an event where all players are physically supervised by the arbiter. So they are in the venue, arbiters supervise them. An arbiter can check before start the game, they can check if they're carrying any devices, any electronic devices, he can check the toilet, check everything same like over the board because he supervising them. And while they play online, according to the article of part 3b, this is considered of the hybrid chess and how can arbiter supervise it and check, and even if you want to go to the toilet, he has to take permission from the chief local arbiter. If zone arbiter find that in the players is not sharing a task manager or sharing a screen, so he has to call local chief arbiter, not player. Only call local chief arbiter and said, please look at the table number 1, a player is not sharing a screen. So the local chief arbiter will go there and check why is not sharing a screen. Because if not sharing a screen, this means maybe using some application, maybe he's cheating. In this kind maybe arbiter give him lost, forfeit him. The competition regulation shall apply the kind of competition listed in Article 6.1. So we have the score. The scoring always must be 1, 0, and a half. And the total score always must not be maximum of 1. In some competition, they use win 3 points for win and 1 point for draw. But when you want to send your report to the FIDE, in this case, you have to change your calculation and give the winner 1 point and draw half point. But if you want to use for your local competitions, up to you, no problem. You can use for win 3 points or 2 points, and for draw 1 point, up to you. Then we have the playing venue is defined as the playing area and toilets and restroom and so on. No one except the player are allowed to be in the playing area without permission of the arbiter. So now for online chess and for hybrid chess, not allowed anybody will be in the venue. Okay, for online chess, player is playing from the home. So in the room, cannot be anybody in his room, only his alone. For that, he has to use 2 cameras, front camera and side camera, and our Zoom arbiter watching him, observing. There is nothing, no cheating, nobody inside the room. Or for hybrid chess, we have arbiter in the Zoom arbiter, we have arbiter in the venue. We have 2 arbiters. In the hybrid chess will be more sufficient, more control, monitoring the player. So in this case, if the hybrid chess, players cannot go to the toilet or to make a coffee without permission from the arbiter. He has the player always be in front of the camera, not leave the camera. Once he finishes the game, in this case, he can leave the camera. So in the room, in online, same thing. Player cannot go out of the front of camera. He'll go out of camera. Here he can lose. Arbiter can forfeit him. The time control and the method of the implementation shall be specified in competition regulation. I mentioned what the time control, and sometimes we have delay time. So, for example, we start 3 p.m. So delay time maximum if the time control 15 minutes plus 5 seconds, so we give time control delay time 15 minutes. So we start the game. So until 15 minutes, if anybody not arrived yet, so he lost game by forfeit. If the playing zone allowed players to move pieces in contradiction with Article 3.3 is as an illegal move, so cannot be, but maybe in some platform at the moment, not platform allowed to play illegal move, but in future, if there is such as this illegal move allowed by platform, so the competition regulation will be specified how to deal with such as irregularity. So here arbiter can take decision, stop the game and take decision. The competition regulation shall specify the default time. So default time, if play according to hybrid chess, always the time control will be like standard chess, will be hybrid chess is a standard chess. So time control maybe 90 minutes plus 30-second increment. So in this case, the delay time maybe be 30 minutes delay time. So allow the player come before, when he reach before 30 minutes ended, he can play, continue the play. If come after 30 minutes, he will lose time, will be forfeit. Even if there is zero tolerance, so once the chief arbiter start the game, if any player is absent, he got zero because it's zero tolerance. If the competition regulation specified that the default time is not zero, and if another player is present initially, so white shall lose. Always white shall lose the time, because once we say start, we start time for the white. If the white there, he has to play his move. If the white not there, so we stay until the delay time, default time. We, according to the regulation, what's the default time? If 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, half an hour, according to the regulation, we have to wait, and so we announce the game lost by player. The playing zone must record the offer of a draw next to the player move when the draw is offered. So as you see in the application platform, always there's button draw. When the players press button draw, then you can find next to the move bracket equal. This means here one of player offer the draw, but still the regulation need to change, because it's not mentioned specific time. How many times can draw? Nothing mentioned. But one player more than 10 times offer draw. So, okay, this is can interrupt the player and wasting time. For that, must be think about change this article. At least make not more than 3 times offer draw during one game, because otherwise consider as interrupt the player and give penalty, sanction to the player. The player shall take no action that will bring the game of the chess into the distribute, including the way that playing behavior in front of the camera. So on the front of the camera, maybe, okay, you have the wear nice dress, and in front of the camera must not singing or not do something wrong, bad words, saying bad word or other things. So be careful from the camera, because people watching you, and even the Zoom camera is recording. The Zoom is recording, and will be very bad behaviors. So each player shall connect to the playing Zoom with the authorized device. So if you played your first move or you start your game with the computer, so you cannot change computer to the laptop. So you have to continue with same device, computer, laptop. So don't change. If there is exception, if you have problem with the computer, suddenly damaged, suddenly stop working, in this case, you can, after permission of the arbiter, chief arbiter, you can go to the computer, use computer instead to be laptop. Each player shall use his personal account when playing competition games and playing Zoom. So none under other name. we found that some player has 2 accounts. So cannot be 2 accounts. If you start with 1 account in Tornado on the chess.com, you have to use same account from first round until last round. Don't use second account, and someone use further account. Someone, because in a Tornado, to create account, you have to enter your email. But some player, they enter parent email. So we play with other account by his parent email. So this is the wrong. Arbiter have to be sure and check which account the player use. And when once the player enter the Zoom, he must write his name, the correct and real name. Real name is, if his name Mike, he has to write Mike. Then 3 letter of federation, for example, USA. Then if play under the category, under 18, under 12, if play under the category. So this will be clear for the arbiter. So this player, his name Mike, under 18 from USA. So it's very clear. So for that, he has to always enter with the real name. A player must wear appropriate clothes when visible on the camera and follow the dress code of the competition, if any. No slippers, no shorts, no shirts or clothes with the offensive word. So this is also important if the online chess or hybrid chess. Be careful. So people's watching you. Okay, during our previous competition, we found the camera was open, and one of the parents was inside the room or past the corridor, and it was very clear he was passed with the neck. He was necked. So this is very bad. You cannot. Be careful because you in front of people watching you. So during the game, a player may leave the playing area or the playing venue only with the permission of the arbiter. So if he wants to go to washroom, okay, sure, in Blitz cannot, we not allow. In Blitz tournament, we not allow, because in Blitz very short, cannot go to the toilet. But if in the long time control, like hybrid chess, long time control, okay, we allowed with the permission of the arbiter to go. If there is if there are 2 or 3 games per day, so once he finished the first round, so he has a break. He can go anywhere he needs, but he must be back before start the second round and not be close any device, not close his computer and his panoramic camera or his front camera. Must be always ready. During a game, a player may leave and said permission from arbiter. During the play, the players are forbidden for using any electronic devices. So we caught one player, he was using mobile phone, and mobile was behind the screen, behind the monitor. Then camera arbiters, Zoom arbiter discover something like lighting coming from back of the monitor. Then we understood that he using mobile phone. So for that we disqualify him and forfeit him and withdraw him from the competition. Players are not allowed to have headphone. So headphones is not allowed, and also not allowed to cover his hair and over their air during the play. So this all not allowed. During a game, a player is forbidden from having a playing venue, any electronic device which is not specifically approved by the arbiter. However, the regulation of the event may allow such as device to store. If the becomes evident that the player has forbidden devices in the playing venue, then the player shall lose the game. If I found any devices, so we give forfeit for the player, so not allowed. The opponent shall win. The competition regulation may be specified at different less severe penalty. For example, maybe withdrawn from competition. The chief arbiter can also decide to exclude the player from the competition. The arbiter may require the player to show his cloth back. So in this case, you have to take the player to the private room, meeting room or private, create one private room inside the Zoom and take him there and let him and check everything. But in this case, don't record the room, don't record the Zoom, this room, because, you know, maybe you ask to remove his clothes, remove something, so people was watching, so for that not allowed to record. The arbiter maybe require the player to show his clothes, bag, content of the drawers or other items. A player's body, including ears, may also be inspected. This inspection will be by camera. So will be by camera if there is the normal inspection. But if the lady, for example, you want to take cover out, because some Muslim country, they cover the hair. So in this case, they don't like to people watch them remove the cover, but they can take it to the private room and Zoom with the one woman arbiter and to check, inspect it. Where the player's body is searched other than just the ears, then it must be done in private by a person of the same gender. This search must not be recorded, so must be not recorded. So search will be by private room with a person with the same gender and same time will not be recorded. Smoking, including the e-cigarette, is not permitted when visible on camera. So even not allowed. Drink, okay, is allowed. Drink allowed if you want to eat something, it's allowed, but smoke, no. It is possible for distract or annoy the opponent in any manner, whatever. This includes unreasonable claims. Always said offer the draw. This is always asking for draw. This is unreasonable offer of the draw. You can give sanction to the player. So information of any part so shall lead the penalties according to the article. So we have article 9.1 until 9.10. This is belong to the online chess. While over the board, we have article 12.9. Players who have finished their game shall be considered to be spectator and must completely comply with the instruction of the arbiter and competition regulations. So in this case, if he played according to hybrid chess, so once he finished the game, he has to stay 5 minutes. According to the new FIDE laws for hybrid chess and online, he has to stay 5 minutes. In these 5 minutes, arbiter has to check if a player open any other application in his device or not. So after 5 minutes, he can switch off, close everything, and can leave the tournament hall. And if in the venue maybe is at home, so in this case, he can switch off the camera and go out from the Zoom. For example, if they mute their microphone and switch off their camera and stop screen sharing, in this case, arbiter automatically stop the game, post the game, and go to the player and investigate why they closed the camera, why they're not sharing the screen. In this case, can he give him warning or can make him forfeit? A player shall have the right to request from the arbiter an explanation of a particular points of laws of chess, online chess regulation. Unless the competition regulation specified otherwise, the player may appeal against the decision of the arbiter. So maybe arbiter gives sanction to the player because he was not sharing the screen. Okay, after round finish, he has limit time, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They can go appeal against the decision of the arbiter. In this case, you have to write a protest with a submit a fee, because an online chess and hybrid chess must be within 50 minutes submit by payable account. must submit to the organizer. If they didn't transfer money within this 15 minutes, and the protest will be rejected. This includes appeals against the result of the game, even if the result was set by the playing zone and approved by the arbiter. So he can go for the protest. Players may observe other games from their current competition. So if we have a system of hybrid chess. So as you know, in hybrid chess, players playing in the venue, like over the board. Okay, once I play my move, now I can stand and walk around. I can watch any game in the venue, but from back of the player, not in the front of the player, and cannot speak with anybody, not allowed. Allowed. But in online chess, no. In online chess, you have to sit on the chair always until you finish. Then we have arbiter. This is rule of arbiter for online. Rules is similar to the over the board, but some slightly change. So in online chess regulation are observed. The arbiter shall ensure fair play, act in the best interest of the competition, ensure that the good playing environment is maintained. He has to check lighting, check cameras, check windows, because sometimes the player sitting next to the windows and lighting is coming from outside the windows, sun. So the cover the face of the player, you cannot see the face of player. So in this case, also arbiter to stop and pause the game and go call the player, please close the window or put some certain something to highlight, not come inside the room, and make visible, the face will be visible for arbiter. So ensure that the players are not distracted, supervise the progress of the competition. So arbiter cannot, players cannot open the music during the play, no sound, nothing there. And microphone was on always, and camera, front camera and side camera must be on. And supervise the progress of the competition, take special measures in the interest of the disabled player. And if there's disabled player, we take him to the special breakout room with the assistant, and will be an arbiter monitor this room. Follow the anti-cheating rules and guidelines for the FIDE online chess competition. The arbiter shall observe the games, especially when the player are short of time. Then impose penalty on the players where appropriate. Then we have the arbiter may appoint assistant to observe game and players. So if I have 10 games, I am responsible of 10 games. Sometimes there is time travel in the hybrid chess. So in arbiter, if can have one assistant to assist him for time control, if I need to record the moves, he has to call the assistant in this case. The arbiter shall inspect the player area before start the game. He has to inspect area and see the devices, see the toilet. There is nothing in the cabinets, and check the players before enter the venue by super scanner, metal detector. Just check body, check everything. Is not carrying anything. And also the arbiter may award either the both player additional time. For example, if there are any disturbance from the game from outside, there any noise coming, so in this case can pause the game, stop the game, and after that give 2 additional minutes, 2 minutes, for example, for both player, and continue the game. The arbiter must not intervene in the game except in the case described by the FIDE laws of chess. Players in the other game must not speak about or otherwise interfere in the game. So spectators are not allowed. So not allowed anybody enter to the venue. So if the hybrid chess in Asian Championship, one of Iraqi team, president of Iraq team, called us, said, okay, because of hybrid chess, same like over the board, we have VIP people want to come and visit the venue, maybe took some picture with the player. So in this case, they won't take permission. We give permission only allowed for first 5 minutes only. Then in the 5 minutes, he can go around and take a picture, photo with the player. Then he has to leave the tournament venue. So others not allowed, only players and chief local arbiter and assistant, technical assistant will be in the room. Forbidden for anybody to use mobile phone or any kind of communication device in the playing venue or any contiguous area designated by the arbiter. So not allowed. This all device is not allowed. Then what's the sanction we have? We said according to the Article 12.9 in the FIDE laws of chess, for standard chess, we had 9 articles for the sanction. Here we have same. Here we have same. We have warning, increasing the remaining time, reducing the remaining time, increasing the points, reducing the point, declaring the game to be lost by the offending player. Then we have fine announcement, advance, exclude, same sanction which we have in the over the board, we have here. And when we have, if the disconnection, this is the important thing, if we found disconnection, it is the player responsibility. So it mentioned in the regulation, the responsibility of disconnection is the player. So it is the player's responsibility to be connect to the playing zone. This includes providing the suitable internet connection and working playing device. But if it's a tournament according to the hybrid chess, responsible of the organizer, local organizer. So a local organizer, he's responsible to provide internet, provide devices in the venue and electricity. If anything happens, so his responsibility, not organizer such as continental, Asian, or Africa, or Europe, or FIDE, they are not responsible. This responsibility of the local organizer. The player may maintain his connection via mobile device only with the permission of the arbiter. So it's not allowed to use mobile phone, but in case the mobile is a second camera, so in this case, he has to be in air mode and only use the camera. This will be fixed as the second camera or side camera. In this case, is allowed. So, but if any noise, any ring, any alarm came from the mobile, he will lose the game. So he has to be careful. Okay, we allowed you to use your mobile as second camera, but be careful. Any noise come, so you will lose the game. The player shall follow the instruction given by the arbiter concerning his presence in the playing zone, which is allowed, which is not allowed. The competition regulation shall state the consequence and potential sanction in the case of disconnection from the playing zone. So if the disconnect from playing zone, arbiter immediately go to push the game, and if he doesn't know how to push the game, he has to call the technical or certified tornillo. He will go and push the game. Then you go investigate and see what happened exactly. Then you can go and give warning, a warning card, a green card, or yellow card, or give detect minutes from the place. So you give sanction. So you have to make clear what type of sanction you can give. We use in one of our Asian continental event, we use 2 yellow cards. So if they disconnect, first time we give yellow card, second time yellow card, third time you lose the game. Now we have a warning, we have forfeit the game automatically. During the game, if the player disconnected from the playing zone, his clock shall continue running. So if disconnect from Zoom, clock is running, so he cannot move. But if he disconnect from internet, so he lose the game. So here is the difference. So from connect, if the player can reconnect to the game before his remaining thinking time elapsed, for he shall continue playing with the thinking time. So if I disconnect, so I have to come back to reconnect again. So this reconnect must be by my time. So arbiter cannot stop the clock. He said, okay, please reconnect and enter and play. No, must the time running, then he reconnect to the Zoom and continue playing. So if the player cannot reconnect to the game before his remaining thinking time is over, then that player shall lose the game. So you have a chance to reconnect if you have enough time. For example, if the hybrid chess, or if the time control, for example, 30 minutes plus 10 seconds or 5 seconds, so you have enough time to reconnect and enter. But if you have, if in the blitz, like 3 minutes plus 2 seconds, so no time to reconnect and enter, you will lose time, so we lose the game. During the disconnection, both players must not leave their place without the permission of the arbiter. So also you have to be always in the venue or in the room, don't leave. During the game, the player shall play with a single screen and share it with the arbiter, unless specified. So if I am using laptop, so I have to share a screen or share task manager. Okay, when you share a screen, in the share screen, they have task manager. The task manager is show all system which you're using, show what type of application you are using. So not allowed to use anything except application, which the Tornado platform or chess.com platform, any platform you're playing, and Zoom. So you have open only Zoom, must application, Zoom application, and platform is open with the Google Chrome. Only 3 things must be visible for arbiter and task manager. If we see in task manager, for example, he open WhatsApp or open YouTube or open anything else, he immediately lost the game. According to the regulation, he lost the game. So not allowed to open any other application, only the platform, the place which is playing a game, a competition, and Zoom application, and Google Chrome or Firefox or anything, but not other. So we catch many players when we share a screen, we catch they open the WhatsApp, they open the YouTube, open the analyze Chessboard, open other, so we immediately forfeit them. This is considered as a cheating. So during a playing session, the arbiter shall have access upon request to open application on the player device. So we go to the player, please share your screen, share your task manager, open the device. So we'll see which application is open. No application other than one used to play and video conference system must be open on the player device during the session unless allowed by the arbiter. Then we have a video conference system, which go VCS. When the player under the video supervision, a competition shall provide a video conference system for use by the players and arbiters. The system shall have the following features: full view of the player displaying at least their face. The face must be very clear, not half face. If you watch and see half face, okay, immediately go stop the game, pause the game, go give warning to the player and let them, the angle of camera will be clear, face, complete face will be clear and visible for the arbiter. Audio of the players and surrounding area must be very clear via a microphone. Support for screen sharing by the player under the control of the player and the arbiter. Each player is requested to connect to the video conference at the time specified by the arbiter and remain connected during the entire session. If the player disconnected from the video conference but is still connected to the playing Zoom, then the player is forbidden from moving a piece. So in this case, we pause the game. He's forbidden until he reconnect. The competition regulation may specify that the system of the yellow, maybe yellow warning will be, and red card, he lost. If the red card we lost, to support the handling of the sanction due to the disconnection from the PC video conference. So one player under the video supervision, the player shall use the webcam that shows his complete face during the game. The picture displayed shall not hide the surrounding of the players. No virtual background shall be allowed. So nothing, no background. Don't keep any background. No animals, naturals, anything. Only will be normal without any virtual background shall be allowed, not allowed. The room lighting must be sufficient to allow broadcasting and movement of the player eyes to be monitored by the arbiter and broadcasting. So sometimes very dark room cannot see the eyes of players. So in this case, we stop the game. We ask player to make more lighting or shifting to somewhere more lighting. Or maybe there's very light come from the outside, from the window. So we tell please cover by certain, by anything. So be go far from the window. A player's microphone must always transmit by any sound audios near the player. But what happens sometimes the players play the area which close the road, and always noise comes from the road, always noise from the car, noise coming, or airplane noise, or animal, dog noise coming. How we control? We cannot control, but the way we can do, arbiter can mute the voice of the microphone of the player, then open the mic, mute and unmute, mute and unmute, and this only way to control the noise. If the open, according to the regulation, must be unmute, but because it's very noisy, and you are in the room with other players, because it's every 10 to 15 players in the one breakout room, in this case, everybody would distract with the noise. The only way for arbiter or Zoom arbiter or breakout room arbiter in charge, he has to mute and unmute according to the noise, if the high or not. The regulation of the competition may specify that extra monitoring device, for example, if the cameras not cover the area, may be asked to add third camera. So something will be panoramic camera to cover all area and be very visible for the arbiter for monitoring and supervising. And also we have each player is entitled to ask for the arbiter assistant if a player call the arbiter in order to seek the arbiter assistance. So in Tornado and in other application, there is the button call arbiter. Once you call the arbiter, so arbiter come to you. If the reasonable, because when you call arbiter, the game will stop, the time will stop. So arbiter will check if the reasonable the claim, so he can solve and continue the game. If he said just press normal, just ask player, ask arbiter, okay, arbiter, when will be break? What time will be next round? So this is not the reason to stop for that. Arbiter given penalty. If the game has started with the color reverse, then if less than 10 moves have been made by both players, it shall be discontinued and new game with new color must be played. So if after 10 moves, the game shall continue. If a game is not drawn automatically, when one of the situation described by article, automatically draw situation has accurate, the arbiter will declare the game drawn. For example, and there the position, yesterday I show you that some diagram, some position, king and knight against king and knight. When the position reach king knight against king knight, the computer or platform give draw, automatic draw. So in this case, no, arbiter has to go and let them to continue play, because there is possibility one of them give checkmate to other, king and knight and king knight, the possibility for checkmate. So why computer platform give automatic draw? So in this case, arbiter has to go and let them to continue. They have 50 moves. After 50 moves, he will stop the game, and then he announce for draw. So this is arbiter can do, because platform automatic give draw. Then a player zone automatically declares a draw in contradiction with Article 4.5. Mate possibility still exists. The arbiter is entitled to modify the automatic result. So arbiter, he will post the game, will go and make player to continue. If during the game it is found that the setting of the either of both clocks is incorrect, the arbiter shall adjust the chess clock immediately. The arbiter shall install the correct setting and adjust time if necessary. He shall use the judgment, best judgment with determining the clock setting. If the game needs to be interrupted for any reason, the arbiter shall pause the game, pause the chess clock if possible. If it is not possible, then the arbiter may add additional time to either of both players. So what the arbiter he can do himself in this case. Then we have a regulation for hybrid chess. The hybrid chess, same regulation as online chess. I will not give you all details, just I give you the difference. In hybrid chess, there will be chief organizer. In hybrid chess, we have chief organizer designated by the playing venue. He's in charge. He's responsible for the venue. It will be under control of local organizer. Then local organizer, he will provide internet connection, provide technician assistant, provide the chief local arbiters, and this is his responsibility. Okay, I remember in the Asian Championship, it was hybrid chess, and in first round, Iranian team, they were playing in the venue and federation venue, and federation, more than 20 players maybe in the federation venue. Then suddenly disconnect because electricity is gone, no electricity. Then okay, some of them already finished before electricity. Then other loss of connection, they lost the game. But they immediately provide the generator. So in case electricity suddenly gone, then they use the generator. So it was work for them, and they used from next round, always the generator was ready. Other case was in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, they miss disconnection. Internet was Wi-Fi, very poor in the federation, but the federation, they provide USB flash, USB inside the USB, there is SIM card with a Wi-Fi. Automatically, they use this flash, USB flash, fixtures in the laptop or computer, and reconnect with the Wi-Fi, and they continue the game. So always there is some solution. You have to find solution for if sudden happen, electricity gone or connection of the Wi-Fi is gone. Each local organizer is required to provide a playing venue suitable to host a hybrid chess competition. The playing venue is defined as the playing area, restroom, toilet, refreshment area, set. Then we have smoking area, and we have analyzing area and other place designated by the arbiter. The playing area is defined as a place where the game of the competition are played. So only allowed arbiter and players will be in the venue. No more. If anyone VIP needs to come, for example, okay, after permission of the arbiter, chief arbiter, so allowed only first 5 minutes. Only players and arbiter are allowed access to the playing area. Each playing venue must be monitored by the cameras. We call it panoramic camera, because in the hybrid chess, we need panoramic camera. In online chess, we need side camera. So here, a little bit different between online and hybrid chess regulation. Each local organizer is responsible for providing an internet connection in the playing venue. Players are not responsible. So this is responsibility of the organizer, not player. If the player missed the connection, so he's not guilty. He's not responsible for his connection. Okay, what shall we do? We blame to organizer. So if they lost the connection, this means he will lose the game. The faults will be organized. This is responsibility to, he has to provide from beginning a very good connection and electricity, everything. If required by the competition regulation, unless the competition regulations say otherwise. So he has to provide in each venue electronic device used for the conducting online games, playing device are provided by the local organizer. So this is all local organizer. He provide devices, provide technician, everything. During the game, each player shall have access his playing device to a virtual chessboard and any software required for the purpose. No other website, application, or software can be opened on the playing device. So only Tornado and maybe Google Chrome and Zoom, only 3. The only accept maybe video communication system if required by the competition regulation. At least 2 arbiters will be appointed for each playing venues. So the difference between the hybrid chess and online chess, the arbiter inside the Zoom. So from the Zoom platform, he controls the player. But in hybrid chess, we have arbiter, Zoom arbiter, and we have local chief arbiter. So we have local chief arbiter and local technical arbiter or local technical assistant we have. The total number of arbiters required in the each playing venue will vary depending on the kind of event. So how many arbiters we need for the online chess? For online chess, every 10 to 15 players, we need 1 arbiter in the Zoom. For the hybrid chess, every 10 players, we need 1 arbiter in hybrid chess. If more than 10 players, we need extra arbiter with 1 assistant, technical assistant. So always technical assistant must be in hybrid chess. If the playing Zoom always player to the move pieces in the deduction with the Article 3.3, which is illegal move, so the competition regulation must be specified how to deal with such irregularities. So in the hybrid chess, we use all laws of chess considered as competition rules. So if there is a legal move, arbiter must intervene. If there is a 3 or 4 repetition or 5 or 4 repetition for the arbiter or 75 repetition for the arbiter must announce the game is draw. And if there is illegal move, we can stop the game and give sanction to the player and so on. So the competition regulation shall specify a default time in advance. So if the hybrid chess or an online chess also must be default time if there. If no default time will be 0. So once we start the game, then who's not present will lose the game. The playing zone must be records the offer of the draw next to the player move. So always we can find the PGN file and the platform, there's draw beside the move. But if they play by hybrid chess, in this case, they have to write the score sheet, because there will be a score sheet, they have to write on the score sheet. The player shall take no action shall be bring the games of chess into the disrupt. The players are not allowed to use their own playing device in the playing venue unless the competition regulations say otherwise. So during the game, the players are forbidden to have any electronic devices not specifically approved by the arbiter. The arbiter may require the player to allow his clause to check if there is carrying any item. He has to check the body inside the private and the hybrid chess, and the venue of online has to take him to the private and the Zoom room and inspect it. So the chief arbiter can also decide to exclude the player from the competition. The competition regulation may allow personal electronic device to be stored in the playing bag, but under the supervision and approval of the local chief arbiter. During the game, the players are forbidden to use any notice, sources, information, and receive any advice. It is forbidden to distract or annoy the opponent in any manner. And during the game, a player may leave the playing area or playing venue only with the permission of the arbiter. The players shall follow the dress code of the competition, if any. So if it's in the hybrid chess, so must be well dressed and not allow come by a slipper, by hat, by shirt, others. And if in the online chess, so even front the camera, it must be well dressed. A player shall have the right to request from the arbiter an explanation of particular point in the FIDE online chess regulation. Unless the competition regulation specified otherwise, a player may appeal against decision of the arbiter. So always the protest after the round can be against also the rule of arbiter here, same as the rule arbiter of the online chess. Even we have sanction, same thing, the sanction, warning, increasing, reducing, same sanction we have. So before the beginning of each game, each local chief arbiter is responsible for checking all the playing device are in the compliance with the requirement of the article. Then before the beginning of each game, each local chief arbiter is responsible for conducting the fair play check of all the players. So he can use hand check, he can use metal detector, he can use super scanner, any method, check before enter the tournament, and either you can go and check the toilets and check the devices, which the player sitting, the table, everything. So they can use as the over the board competition. So each local arbiter is responsible for monitoring the venue cameras recording. So each local technical assistant is responsible for monitoring each player's connection. So technical assistant is responsible for connection, a local chief arbiter responsible for monitoring the venue. Each local technical assistant shall immediately report to the chief arbiter about each disconnection case. Once the connection is raised, then in this case, we have contact with the chief arbiter, the general chief arbiter in the competition. So local chief arbiter contact with the chief arbiter of the event and with the report about if there's any violation. So what the violation must be a decision including but not limit about resumption of the game from the adjourned position. Then we have reducing remaining time from the disconnect the player restarting the game from the initial position. If they miss the connection, we restarting the game from the initial position with the same time control, and maybe restarting the game from the initial position with the shorter time control. So in this case, we have 4 things we have to use for if the disconnection. So if the game has started with the color reverse, same as online, after 10 moves, we cannot change, shall be continue. If the player playing Zoom automatically declare a draw, so in this case, mate possibility is still like knight, king and knight, king and knight. So here arbiter must continue the game because a platform give draw, but this is not draw because there's possibility to give checkmate. So for that, you have take post game off and make continue the game. So if the game need to be interrupted for any reason, the arbiter shall post the chess clock if possible. If it is not possible, the arbiter may add additional time to one or both player. So they will have here for hybrid chess, if the time control used for the competition has an increment of at least 30 seconds per move, starting from move 1, the competition regulation may specify that players are allowed to use traditional chessboard because this is the hybrid chess, and hybrid chess allowed to use traditional board, but you have to move your move first online by your laptop or computer, then move your piece on the traditional board. So this is the requirement. So in this case, are allowed to use traditional chess set, board, and pieces for their convenience during the game. In this case, the following provision apply. 1, the virtual chess board and virtual chess clock remaining the recording by the game. So here arbiter has fixed the clock. The specific competition regulation must specify the necessary number of the arbiter. So if we have more than 10 players, we have to add 1 more arbiter. So for each 10 arbiter, we have 1 local chief arbiter plus 1 local technical assistant. Moves played on the virtual chessboard may be accompanied by the clearly audible sound signals, like click. When you click the mouse, we can hear. So that each player could be aware without any delay of the last move played by their option. This shall be implemented in the way which doesn't disrupt other games. So also very important in hybrid chess, each player is, as we said, responsible for moving pieces on his traditional board. So he move first on the computer, then move on the traditional board. The only allowed action on the traditional board is reproducing the move played on the virtual board made by each side. No player is allowed to make his move on the virtual board except the first white move. So before they have producing their own previous move on the traditional board, the position on the traditional chessboard must be always remaining the same on the virtual one. So arbiter, when they see the player using the traditional board and same time playing online, he has to check what is position on the online and platform must be same position on the traditional board, same position. In case of violation of the article, the arbiter is entitled to intervene and the penalties described in Article 18.4. So in this case, any violation, he give sanction to arbiter immediately. The specific competition regulation may be imposed mandatory use of score sheets by the player. So if the hybrid chess, so we have to provide a score sheet. If two players playing each other paired together in the same venue, they can play hybrid chess if both agree. But if play online, but they won't use traditional board and they won't use the score sheet, in this case, okay, we provide for the arbiter. Okay, so now this is about hybrid chess and online chess regulation. Actually, I finished. I had one small thing, just I want to show you. Maybe it take 10 minutes only, or less than 10 minutes. I show you the regulation which we use for Asian Championship, Zonal Chess Championship, Zona 3.1. It was technical meeting in like Jordan time in 29 May. So we'll show you what regulation we use in this competition to be informed. Okay, in this case, we had a player should not speak to this is fair play rules for online and hybrid chess. The fair play rules, player should not speak to the other during the game, and toilet should be exclusive for the player and arbiter. Body scan players before entering the playing area. And according to Article 16.4 on the FIDE online regulation, the fair play measures should be applied in accordance with the FIDE anti-cheating regulation and FIDE anti-cheating protection measures. In case if in any playing venue, the fair play measures are not fully applied or a fair play violation incident is registered in the following sanction may be applied. So always we have sanction give to the player, and the FIDE now create the new rules. In this case, the following sanction may be applied by the FIDE Ethics and Disciplinary Commission to the respected organizer, local arbiter, IT assistant, and arbiter up to 15 years. So there is if there any violation, there is 15 years banned from any official event for the arbiter or organizer of technical assistant or players. So you have 15 years. This is very tough, very strong sanction, very strong penalty. For that, must be player careful, not use any device, not cheat. When we caught them cheating, so we have to send report to the FIDE, and FIDE maybe ban them for 15 years. So FIDE international organizer may also lose their IO title. If you international organizer, maybe you lose the title, because in hybrid chess, the local organizer, he's responsible to provide internet connection, everything. But if, for example, they allowed players to cheat, to use other device, in this case, it will be violation. So FIDE may be banned the organizer, and that organizer might lose his title, IO title. The respective host federation may be impose a financial penalty, or several or all players must maybe lose his chance to qualify to World Cup or World Championship or any competition. This not ban them to reach the final World Cup and other. So in this, we use this our fair play regulation in Asian Championship. And equipment. The equipment must use only laptop and computer. So players may play only on laptop or desktop. Wearing of the headphones or earphones are not allowed. You have the option to prevent mouse slip by clicking on the original square and then destination square. So also the Zoom. But the Zoom player must arrive in the Zoom call at least 1 hour before. If the competition starts by 3 p.m., by 2 p.m. you have to be entered to the Zoom. So when you enter to the Zoom, players are required to write their real name in the Zoom call in the following way. For example, country code, 3-letter of country code plus name. So we have country code, for example, IRI, this means Iran. Bahram, Maqsood, is from Iran. Iran means the name of the player, real name. But if we play under the category, so must be IR under 20 or 14, then the name. So will be 3 things. Zoom, microphone and video should always be open. It is not allowed for the players to use virtual Zoom background. Players are required to share their screen at all time and open task manager. So always must be open task manager and always will be on the top. So task manager will be on the top, the corner, on the left side on the top, not on the bottom, to be very clear for the arbiter to watch and see what application open for the player. While the present in the Zoom meeting, it is forbidden to have any applications running on the computer other than Zoom and web browser with the Tornado platform. So you have Zoom, web browser, Microsoft Chrome, maybe Windows Chrome, with the Tornado platform. Only 3. Anything more than these 3, so forfeit the player. Playing venue. So for hybrid chess must be like this as a picture. Must be player sitting in the venue, in the club, in the federation, anywhere, any hall. Must be this distance and like this. Very clear. This is panoramic camera. It's very clear. I can watch the player. Then I can watch the player by front camera, by Zoom Arbiter. So playing area should be well lit. There should be no external noise. Only players and arbiters are allowed access to the playing area. And during the game, a player may leave the playing area or the playing venue only with the permission of the local chief arbiter. And also the playing venue, each player venue must be monitoring. So monitoring by the camera, by panoramic camera. Only players with the approved webcam and panoramic cameras will be allowed to play. The panoramic cameras should show clear view of the playing area. So if the players move inside the venue, very clear, I know where he's moving, where he's going. Players may not leave a view of the panoramic camera without permission of the local chief arbiter. Example, he wants to go to the washroom to make a coffee. So in this case, he has to take permission from the local chief arbiter. Playing venue, in each playing venue, the fair play measures should be applied in accordance with the FIDE anti-cheating regulation and FIDE anti-cheating protection measures. Unless authorized by the arbiter, it is forbidden for anybody to use a mobile phone or any kind of communication device in the playing venue or any congestion area by the arbiter. Okay, maybe someone asked question. Okay, if we play 3 rounds per day, so I finish first round, so we have break until next round. So during the break, can I use my mobile phone? Yes, you can use. During the break, you can use your mobile phone. But between the break and during the break and between the round, you can use. But during the game, cannot even show your mobile phone. If we watch you carrying mobile phone or keep it anywhere, you will lose the game. But once you finish the game, so you are free. Go to toilet, go to sleep, go anywhere, use your mobiles, you are free because your game is finished. But before come back for the second round, be careful, nothing there, no mobile, no other device. So in traditional chessboard may be used by the player. Each player is responsible for moving piece on his traditional board. The only allowed action on the traditional board is reproducing the move played on the virtual board made by each player. So we have to play first on my laptop or my computer, then move the piece on the traditional board. The virtual chessboard and virtual chess clock remain the definitive record of the game. Use of the traditional board is optional. So traditional board is optional. So if players want to use, he has to take permission from the local chief arbiter. Use the traditional board is optional. Players who been with the traditional board then use only laptop, cannot return to the using traditional board. So if you are using laptop computer, then you said, no, I'm playing in the traditional board, cannot. You have to play on traditional, the laptop first. So we have, in case two players playing from the same playing venue are paired together, the local chief arbiter may decide the game between them may be played over the traditional board. Such as decision may be taken only if the player, so if the player agree to play, otherwise, no. So if the player accepts, so for this case, so they can play over the board. Then for such game, the FIDE laws of chess shall apply. The result and the PGN file should be entered by the players and submitted after the round to the zonal chief arbiter. So what happened when they play over the board? When they play over a board, because in the Tornado on the chess.com will not show their game. So we'll see all playing except, for example, two or four players not playing. Why? What happened? So we understood that these 2 players or 4 players playing over the board. Then once they finish over the board, they have to send a score sheet, give to the chief arbiter or local assistant arbiter, and they transfer to the PGN file, then send the PGN file to the chief arbiter or IT person. They go to publish on the Tornado or chess.com. Then disconnection, the National Federation is responsible for providing internet connection. Before the start of the game, arbiter will check all internet connection to the Tornado. I will check the players all signed in the Tornado or not. If not signed to the Tornado, they call the player, please come to sign before start the game. If not signed to Tornado, they cannot play their game. So Asian Chess Federation and Tornado are not responsible for that technical problem raising for players during the game. In case this Tornado serve problem, we can try to resume. So if it was problem of Tornado, connection from Tornado, so in this case, we can resume the game from the position reach. But if the problem connection from the player, no, he forfeit, he will lose the game. In the case of the disconnection, a player may reconnect and return to the game while there is still time on their clock, provided they are at all times compliant with the fair play regulation, unless there is technical issue. For the avoidance of the adopt, a player may not make a move on the chessboard. So as we say, he cannot make a move on the chessboard until he played on the Zoom. So in this case, he has to start first on the online, then he can move on the chessboard. So share their screen and turn their webcam and microphone on. This is the responsible of arbiter to share with the player. If the player is unable to reconnect and re-establish compliance with the fair play regulation before their flag falls, they will lose the game. So he's responsible to reconnect. So we use the time control according to the time control, 90 minutes, 40 minutes, according to the Chess Olympiad. So default time was 30 minutes from the starting time. And the pairing was by Swiss pairing made on the Tornado. The Tornado would have Java 4. Java 4 is same like Swiss Manager. So we use this program for pairing. The highest ranking shall receive white in the first round. in the last round, player from the same federation who have more than 50% shall not pair together. Forbidden pairing shall be controlled by the Swiss manager. Pairing will be published in the chess result chess.com as soon as possible after each round, unless there are pending appeals. So at the end, must be one qualified to the World Cup. And tie break we use, okay, tomorrow I will talk about tie break. That tie break shall be average rating of the opponent. We have cut one. So we have Buchholz cut one, we have Buchholz direct encounter. So this all I will explain to you tomorrow. So we had last tie break Armageddon. So in this case, the above tie break result in tie. They will play one Armageddon game, which called sudden death. 5 minutes after drawing color, you give 5 minutes for the white, 4 minutes for the black. Then in case draw, the black will win. So white has to win, while the black has enough draw for him to win. So this is all was about our event, the Asian competition. And also for the COVID, we use social distance. So organizers should follow the health restriction of their respective countries and provide the following minimum facilities for the player, arbiters, organizers, and staff: facial mask and facial shields and hand sanitizer spray for each person, temperature scanner at the entrance of the hall. Any players with a high temperature should not be allowed to enter the playing area. Social distance rules should be followed. Ventilation area, provide drinking water for hydration. No spectators should enter the playing hall, and defected all between rounds. So this was all about the hybrid chess and online. I am sorry I didn't stop for the break, and I want to finish all today. So thank you very much for listening and your patience with me. And I have only, I think, already now 12:25. After 5 minutes, I have meeting with the other group. So if I have any question within 5 minutes, I'm ready to answer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahdi. We really thank you very much for this informative lecture. And so we have now around 5 minutes only for any inquiries, any questions, any comments, if anyone wants to add anything.
Oh, we can postpone it for tomorrow. Any question? Yeah, can postpone for tomorrow.
Yeah, there was some question, one question by chat.
Okay.
A question by Siddiqui. He's asking about clause 11.1.1. Player may maintain his connection via mobile with permission of an arbiter. What does this specifically mean?
Okay, so this means it's not allowed to use mobile phone inside the venue. So venue we mean here in online, the room, house, the player, because players playing with the room. Maybe sometimes playing from the club somewhere else, but not allowed to use mobile phone, not allowed to be enter mobile phone, only if the mobile phone is second camera, because in online chess, it has to be front camera. The front camera can be from the laptop or from the computer. Then we need side camera. Side camera must be extra camera, webcam, or panoramic camera, or camera used with the mobile phone. So use mobile phone as a second camera, side camera. So fix the one side, one place in the room. They make clear, visible player, and we can see all what's surrounding the player. So in this case, we use the mobile after the permission of the arbiter, and this mobile has to be air mode, airplane mode. So even will be mute. So second camera always must be mute. and only used for the panoramic or for the side camera, left or right, would be one side camera, and fix it will be visible for the player. This is mean of the mobile phone, but otherwise it's not allowed mobile.
Yeah, he's asking what's the meaning of connection. So I just told him that it means you can just draw a Wi-Fi network from, for example, from the mobile to the laptop. Regarding the connection mentioned.
No connection from laptop, not. You already have connection from laptop. Cannot be two connection, because in Tornado, we can discover if the player used two connection, we forfeit him. If
no, it's one connection. No, I mean Wi-Fi using the mobile as an internet, as a internet connection, but to take it's a hotspot, but to take Wi-Fi from the laptop.
Okay. Yeah, this is happened. This is possible. After approval of the arbiter, yes, we allowed, such as our event, Asian event, we allowed, because he have poor connection, laptop, Wi-Fi. He used the hotspot to give connection to the laptop from his mobile. In this case, we allowed, but he has to take permission, not do by himself. Before start the game, he has to take permission for the arbiter. In this case, we allow. Always we allow, but without permission, no, we forfeit him.
Yeah, Mr. Siddiqui, final thing, you are raising your hand. Final question, last question.
Yeah, I just had a short question that given my experience with chess.com or sort of like Chess, is there an option for the reducing of the time by arbiter for a single player, like in case of any sanction?
Yes. There's option. Only certified arbiter, certified Tornado, he can do, not anybody, because they are certified, and the Tornado, and they give authority or give something permission to go and do it. The normal arbiter cannot do. For example, we have in the now round 6 finish of Asian Club Chess Championship. I am chief arbiter, but we have certified Tornado. He can do, I cannot do as a chief arbiter. He knows. So there is option. Always there is option. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sadiq. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think everyone is happy now, right? Okay.
If you have any doubt, if not, if my voice was not clear, if my information was wrong, just tell me, okay? I want to know what I'm talking about.
No, it was fine.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stavrola.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll talk about titles, arbiter titles and players titles, and how to find the title or norm title, how go for calculation for the title. Even the exam would come, if one case, maybe ask about the title, GM or IM title. If the players come to you before round 9 or last round, it's ask you, okay, tomorrow I have a match with my opponent. What required? What shall I do? Is it win enough or draw enough or zero enough? So you have to reply. You have to give answer to player. He asking, you have to answer at the arbiter. If you don't know the calculation, how to make it, and you cannot answer. Oh, sorry, maybe after tomorrow I will tell you. But no, you have to give him answer immediately, because a small calculation, I will show you how to do it, and follow the regulation, this formula, and you can answer easily to the player. Same thing for the arbiter. If the arbiter come to you, said, okay, what's requirement to get international arbiter or FIDE arbiter title? So you can answer, okay, you have to enter the seminar, FIDE arbiter seminar, to get first your norm with pass the exam. Then you have to go for three rated event to be chief or deputy chief arbiter. Then collect this 4 norm. Let federation submit the rules arbiters commission, FIDE arbiters commission. They will check your norm is okay or not. Then according to that, you will get your title. So this all information by tomorrow we give you, inshallah. Then if we finish tomorrow title, we go for rating system, rating calculation. So tomorrow we have title and rating, or maybe go for the tie break system. We give it the rating for next day, last day. So we have tomorrow and the after tomorrow, 2 days we have. The Thursday, tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. By Wednesday we finish everything. Then you have Thursday and Friday, 2 days off. You can.
No, Friday we have. There will be some lecture with the master regarding essential some end games for the arbiter to know about.
Okay, it's okay. So you have for Thursday and so Saturday will be exam. Saturday will exam. Then maybe we talk about exam when we finish by day after tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
They're calling me. We are meeting. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. See you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night from Pakistan.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.